Hey guys, how's it going? Hey, so I haven't made a video in a while, and the reason for that is there's really nothing that's interesting to me right now, but something came up and it's kind of been slow feeding for a while, and it's the whole Gaza Israel thing. But most importantly right now is how there's like on the left and the right, there's this full on attack on the state of Israel, right? And don't get me wrong. Um, I'm not a fan of Israel as a government. I think they're too involved in America, and I think America is too involved with them. But over time, I've come to learn something. When when all the energy is focused and all the attention and all the blame is being focused on one thing and one thing only, I've come to realize like that's usually a smokescreen. That's usually some form of manipulation that's being pushed, and I can't say with certainty, but there's something there that just doesn't seem right, right? So, for example, you have a lot of things coming out of Gaza saying that Israel's committing all these war crimes and they're doing all these horrible things. It's famine, it's this and that. I'm not saying that's not true at all. What I am saying is it's really one-sided, right? We know that Hamas is they control Gaza. We know that it's it's the government of Gaza, right? They voted these people in, and we know that these people use their citizens as human shields. We know that they use their schools, their hospitals, anywhere where there's kids to store weapons cache, and we know that they have no issues taking any of the resources for the people of Gaza and using it for their own benefits. We know this. This is not something that's a secret. It has been known for a very long time. I just find it really interesting that on top of the AOCs, the Crockett's, the Ilhan Omars, and now you have the Tucker Carlsons, you have the Alex Jones, you have the Candace Owens, the Dave Smiths, right? They're all on the same page right here. And that makes me really concerned. Really concerned. And the reason it makes me concerned is because one, either Israel is the root cause of a lot of the problems, or two, the propaganda's gotten so good that they've been able to manipulate and infiltrate both sides of the aisle. I don't fully know the extent of Israel, right? But when you look at Israel and you look at the surrounding countries, Israel is like the United States of America, but in the Middle East. Everybody's trying to go there. All the Middle Easterns are trying to go there, the Pakistanis, the Palestinians, the Egyptians, everybody's trying to go there. And Israel's put up a big old wall, a big ginormous wall that says no. And guess what? America's putting up a big ginormous wall and we're saying no. And the same way that you have people running around saying that America is the most racist country, but yet it's the one of the few countries everybody's running to, it's counter intellectual, it's counter, common sense. It doesn't make sense. If Israel was this big, bad, horrible creation of a nation, a country, why is everybody still trying to go there from the Middle East? You understand? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't think Israel is innocent. The state of Israel, the government of Israel is innocent in everything that it does. But I also don't think it's this big bad wolf that everybody's pushing. And now, you have a lot of people of the independent and the conservative media pushing it as well. I just don't think it is. It doesn't make sense to me, right? I think that something changed. Well, I know what changed with Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens and other people, and maybe Dave Smith. I know what changed there. You had the Israel lobby come after those people hard, right? They came after them, trying to cancel them, trying to debank them, trying to do everything they could to get them to shut the hell up. But at the same time, right, even though I'm against all of that, and because of that, I will never ever fully side with the state of Israel or the country of Israel, because I'm for free speech. I'm going to say whatever I say, and it is what it is, right? If you don't like it, if you want to throw me in jail, go ahead. I'm still going to speak my mind, right? I'm still going to say what I want to say, how I want to say. I just don't care. I'm not going to pussyfoot around and try to be cautious about what I say against anybody or anything. It's just I'm not built like that. During COVID, I told people to F off. I told them I ain't taking that poison stuff that they created, right? That I tell people like all the time now, fuck no, I'm not giving my kids no vaccines. I'm an anti-vaxxer. And and even if I'm not, I still say it because it needs to be said, right? It needs to send a shockwave to people who never had somebody challenge their position. It's kind of just playing devil's advocate. Um, there's something more there, man. I can't pinpoint it. I kind of have a direction of where I think why you have France, the UK, and all these other Western countries really jumping on the D of Israel. And I, I don't think it has much to do with Israel. And I think it has more to do with the banking cartel. Think about that for a second, right? Central banks, the banking cartel, who are they ran by? They're ran by hardcore Zionist Jews. The banking system was essentially created by the Jews, right? so so I think, in my opinion, a lot of what's happening may not be necessarily stemming from the state of Israel. Maybe it is. Maybe it's being orchestrated. Maybe it is, right? It could be. And I could be just a little bit off base here. But I think the reason that all these countries, including ours, are trying to go full censorship, and UK, France, and all these other countries in the European Union, like they're going full blown uh, censorship, right? America, we're actually going the opposite direction, but you still see remnants of it coming out, where it's all in favor of silencing people who are speaking out against the state of Israel. And the one thing that they all have in common, guys, is their banks, the banking cartel, the central banks. They're all run and operated. They're all controlled. All of our bonds, every Western country, most countries, right? Everybody's I started asking this question a long time ago. If America's $37 trillion in debt, China's, the equivalent of 20 to $30 trillion in debt. The EU is 10 to $15 trillion in debt. And then you just start looking at all these other countries and they're all in debt. Who are we in debt to? Right? If America is the breadwinner, China's the second breadwinner, the EU is the third breadwinner, who do we owe money to? Africa, Zimbabwe, South America, Mexico, Canada? No, guys. You know who we owe money to? We owe money to the banks. To the banks. That is the one institution that has its foothold so deep into our countries that they can get sovereign countries to bend the knee and to do as they want. And so just take that and run with it, that the fact that most of these banks are run by Zionist Jews, right? Not just normal Jews, but the hardcore ones. I'm not saying Israel is innocent in none of this and all of this. I'm not saying that. But what if there's a scenario where the banks are actually pushing all this policy and they're scapegoating it on the state of Israel, right? They're scapegoating it. They're pushing censorship. Because just follow through with me, please. In the EU, they're not just canceling you if you're speaking out against the state of Israel. They're canceling you if you speak out about migration in general. They're canceling you if you're speaking out about the rape gangs. They're canceling you and trying to imprison you for speaking out about anything. But what does all that have in common? Who benefits from this huge migration wave? Who's going to be taking out those loans? Who's going to be repaying those loans, right? Who's going to owe the debt? For the countries, right? And then as the countries get more and more in debt to their central banks, they give up more and more sovereignty. They increase taxes more and more. So they need more and more low-skilled wage, poor people from other countries, third world countries that are willing to work for poverty wages to come in, to take the mantle from the locals, to keep the economy coming, so they keep making their payments. Do you understand? I cannot be the only person that sees this. I refuse to believe I am the only person that sees this, guys. It's the banks. The banks are going so hard because they're about to be replaced by crypto. The payment systems, the payment rails, the fact that they're no longer going to be acting as the middleman, right? Because that's where most of the money comes through, is that middleman, the remittance, the transaction fees, right? The interest, right? What do? What do banks do? They take out loans from the central bank, but they work together. They take out loans from the central bank, they purchase bonds, and then they earn interest on those bonds. And then when the bonds mature, they sell them and they wash, rinse, repeat. But that money was fake created. It's not real money. It's fake. So the central banks and these banks are able to create fake money, but purchase real assets, real liabilities, real securities. And they're able to purchase stuff with this fake money. And then once they get the full value of it, they just disregard it, right? All that is in the process. Crypto is in the process of killing that. So if you're a bank and you're fighting for your life and you're fighting for your very existence and you're fighting for that secured passive income, because that's what it is. It's passive income. It's endless passive income that's going to secure your lineage for all time. It's going to secure your power. It's going to secure your status for every generation after you. It's going to secure your nobility. Well, I would be doing something really similar to what is happening right now. If crypto, Bitcoin, and all these take an actual stronghold, that threatens your livelihood. That threatens your very existence. What do you do after that? What do you do after that? If your entire existence has been to create fake money, buy real things with it, and then just dump it whenever you've got full maturity, what are you going to do after that? Do you understand? It's the same thing as to why you see Jennifer Lopez, Britney Spears. It's the same reason you go to Las Vegas and you see these 80-year-old musicians still performing. It's because they have nothing else to offer. Do you understand? They have nothing else to offer. That is their existence. Entertainment, attention. That is all they have to offer. If you ever wonder why you see horrible looking women like Madonna, at one point in time, she was fine. And I would have let her sit on my face, right? But that time has come and gone. Give me 1 second, guys. So getting back to Madonna at one point in time being fine, and I would have let her sit on my face, right? Madonna today, there's no way. Like, I don't like get away from me. you look freaking weird, dude. And so, but she's still out there performing. She's still out there, dressing her 60, 70, 80-year-old body and this stuff that no old person should ever wear. But the reason they do it is because that's all they have to offer. There's nothing else. They don't know how to do anything else. And I think that's what's happening with these banks. I think they are going on a full-blown attack, a full-blown war. And I think that's why we're attacking. I think that's why there's a war with Russia. I think that's why they're going after Iran, because they don't have central banks. Do you understand? They need to expand. If you're not expanding, you're dying. That's just the law of nature. If you're not expanding, you're dying. And so they need to get a foothold into these other countries, these major countries that have kept telling them no. And so when you look at Libya and you look at these other countries that were recently overthrown by our country and other EU countries, they didn't have a central bank. They didn't have a banking cartel. They had control of their money. They had control of the creation of their money. Well, after, Gaddafi and I forgot the other guy's name, but, once they're taken out, guess what happened? A central bank. Central bank comes in, they expand their foothold, they get the nation in debt, they start earning interest from the locals, from the people. Some fake money's created, but real assets are being purchased, and it just continues. It's like that Darth Vader, right? You have the dark ship or whatever it's called that just consumes all the planets, and that's what I think is really happening. One more time, I am not saying the state of Israel is not participating or is not an active participant. What I am saying is, I think when you have everybody pointing one way, that's usually a good sign that that's the direction they want you to point. It's the same thing like COVID, right? And I keep coming to COVID because COVID is the best real world example that we currently have, where all the countries were in alignment. You had left, you had right wingers, left wingers, conservatives, independents. The majority of them were all in alignment saying, you need to get vaccinated. You need a lockdown. You need to wear face masks. It was very few people, and I am proud to say I am one of them. I am proud to say I was one of them. But very few people were on the bandwagon of like, wow, that doesn't sound right. Doesn't sound right. I could be off base. Just because I was right that time doesn't mean I'm going to be right this time. But I have come to learn, guys. I've learned that when everybody's looking right, you have to start looking left. You have to start looking straight. You have to start looking behind you. You have to start looking for the alternative. Because if everybody is in consensus with something, that's usually a good sign that whatever they want you to be in consensus with is working. Are people dying in Gaza? Yeah. Do I think, the IDF and these Israeli soldiers are killing people? Well, most likely, of course. It's a war. That's what happens in war. People get killed. But do I think Hamas is killing their own citizens to make it look like the IDF's doing it? Absolutely. Do I think Israel might be starving some of the people by giving them just enough aid? Probably. But do I think Hamas is stopping the aid or hijacking the aid and keeping it for themselves to starve its own people, to make it seem like Israel's not giving aid? Well, first of all, yes, absolutely. To answer that, yes, I believe that 100%. But at the same time, this is war. It is not on Israel to feed the people it's trying to kill. This is war, right? I'm not saying it's right. But when war happens, genuine war happens, the country that's trying to kill you, it is not their responsibility to try to feed you. Do you understand? So that's why I think, and that's why my focus isn't really with the state of Israel. My focus is who else is out there that could be benefiting, but doing it under the banner of Zionism. And it's the banks. It's the banks. The banking system is ran by Jews, Zionist Jews. Frankensteins or Frankfurts or Frankens, right? Whatever they were called. The pedo group, right? Back from the 60s, 70s, or the 50s, whatever time frame it was, you're welcome to go grok it. They're the ones that control it all. The Rockefellers, the Fords. Guess what? They're the ones that created all this. They're the ones that set up everything that we're living through. And what do they all have in common? I'm not saying Candace Owens, Dave Owens, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, AOC. I'm not saying they're all wrong. What I am saying is if they're all on the same page, just like they were during COVID, that is a cause of concern for me because it just doesn't seem right. It just does not seem right. When you have Alex Jones pointing at the state of Israel as well, it just doesn't seem right. But at the same time, there comes a point where the only information you're getting is the information that they want put out to you, unless you're on the ground there getting real-time information. But nobody is. Nobody's getting real-time information. What they're doing is they're repeating the information that's coming out that's been controlled. Well, who's it being controlled by? We don't know. Is it being controlled by the UN? Is it being controlled by the Palestinian state, which is Hamas? Is it being controlled by the IDF? Is it being controlled by the EU or the United Arab States? Whatever information is coming out is being controlled, and they're letting you see what they want you to see. And that's why it's concerning, guys. Candace Owens isn't there. Dave Smith isn't there. Tucker Carlson's not there. Mark Levin isn't there. AOC isn't there. Bernie Sanders isn't there. These people are not there. They're just repeating what they've heard. Think about that. The videos that are coming out, they're just repeating and looking at the same videos everybody else is looking at. So if we're all looking at the same thing, of course we're all going to believe the same thing. And as smart as people are, they were all duped not 4 years ago to fall victim and say, you need to go get injected with this brand new technology and do all this. And it took people like me to say, nah, son, I ain't doing it, homeboy. I ain't doing it. Fire me. F your vaccine card, homeboy. You want me to put on a mask at this restaurant, at this front door, to walk to a table 5 feet away, and then I can take my mask when I sit down? I ain't doing it, son. That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying, guys. Doesn't seem right. It's not right. There's something wrong here. It's the banks. It's the banking cartel. It's the central banks. It's the too big to fail. That's all I got to say. Please, think about it. Please, for yourself, think about it. And I am so interested. I hope I start seeing one person maybe watches this video and they're like, shit, let me dig into that. Who better to dig into it than Candace Owens? Because she's amazing. She's a brilliant mind. But I think she's wrong. And just because you're brilliant and you're a brilliant mind, it doesn't mean you're never wrong. Because she was wrong. And at one point in time, she was wrong before she converted to a conservative. And I think she's wrong again. I think I'm right. I might be wrong, though. But I don't think I'm wrong. Too many people are looking right. Not enough people are looking straight, left, back, catty corner. And too many people are in agreement. But they're all in agreement because they're all getting the same information that's filtered. Who's filtering that information? All right. That's all I got.